Hey guys, welcome back to Kuma Reviews. What we're doing here is doing a comparison between the KO of the Sentinel Optimus Prime pen and the legit. I actually ended up getting two of these sold as real. One of them, I was on military leave, so I got it and it was outside of time to take back. The other was a guy off of TFW, swore up and down it was legit, this and that, came unpackaged, and it was exactly like this. So, I'm gonna go over this as in depth as possible, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so the boxes, for the most part, pretty much the same. This is a lot more muted in color. I think it even shows up on camera, particularly if you look down at the. Try to. At the 30th here and stuff like that, and you can just see it's a lot more red and this and that, and yeah, it's just plain muted in comparison. Another thing, on all of mine, the legit ones, Prime, Ultra Magnus, Black Convoy, they're all in the same spot, that Takara Tommy sticker. This one is offset. The other one, the other KO that I got, it didn't come with the box. That one I returned actually, so that'd be side of the box here. Relatively same, but just different coloring. And I guess if you don't have the other box to compare stuff like that, coloring you can't really tell. But if you look at this, I mean, this is more purple, where this is a definite red. So the instructions, this is if you get one of those loose ones. If they're sold as loose, unless you know the seller, just don't fucking buy it. That's where it's at. Because a lot of the KOs are sold loose. And what happened is, whatever company KO'd this, they did, it seems like tens of thousands of them, because 9 out of 10 ones sold now are counterfeits. That's the only reason I'm doing this video. It's gotten really bad. So, alright, the instructions. The colors are actually a lot more saturated on the KO. Also, the detailing, it's a lot more blurry. I don't know if that's because of the saturation or what, but this one looks more like a scan of a scan of a scan of a scan of a scan, to where this one's more, I guess, fine looking in the details and things like that. So that's the box, the instructions. Now the figures themselves. Alright. The biggest thing for me off the bat is the face. So let's see if this camera can zoom in pretty decent. Get focus here. And sorry for being slow, but I want to make sure this is focused and detailed. Again, for the whole video, KO on the left, or your left, legit on the right. KO, legit. KO, legit. Okay, so if you look at their face mask, the KO is a lot more long looking. Where the other Optimus, I guess, was not. If you turn him to the side, and this one's just hard to tell without having one to compare, but because the mask and eyes and the helmet are two different parts, right? So on the KO, it's not made perfectly, so it doesn't set all the way inside of the helmet. I actually had to glue the KO back because it kept popping off. And you can see it doesn't look up like the other one because it's longer. The chin almost touches the chest, and there's one more thing I'll go over in a second here, but it doesn't depress all the way. So if you look at the, I guess, his nose or whatever, the nose line there, it's a lot more depressed on the legit, where, and it's hard with the shoulders and stuff, where the KO, his crest, his nose is almost parallel to it, or they line up because it doesn't sink in all the way. Now around the body in general, it's kind of hard to tell, but the lines on the legit are a lot more on the body. The arms actually match up fairly decently. But on the body, the fine lines of paneling and stuff like that, they're more precise. Whereas the KO, they kind of have that general KO look. This back area to hold the cap, it's kind of glossy and whatnot, where this has a consistent plastic, like matte type, legit throughout. The guns are about the same, but this piece right here on the KO, it doesn't set in all the way, so it kind of sticks out of the side and whatnot. I'll try to get some pictures of it and maybe do a pictorial section on the review, but yeah. Now the KO can't look up and down really, because, let's see if the head still comes off. The ball joint is not set in the center. So, take the legit head off here too. Actually, I'm not going to take the legit head off. I don't want to risk breaking it or anything like that. I don't give a damn if the KO breaks right here on camera. But if you look, I'm actually just going to pop that off. It's actually forward on the peg instead of being in the center. So that's why Optimus can't look up and down. Also, this piece here, his head will slide down a lot because it's not molded to fit this slider here. It's supposed to be held by friction at the end, and it just doesn't hold well. So when you press it down, you kind of gotta work the body back around the head and this and that, and it's just annoying. And the head doesn't really stay on this piece well, and blah blah blah. Outside of that, what I'm seeing in the lower body looks pretty on. In general, the silver is a lot more smooth on the legit version, where this one's kind of just sprayed and is what it is. Another thing, the Optimus logo on the shoulders. It's hard to tell on camera, but on the KO, it's actually orange, where this is legit red. And a problem that I had on both my KOs, this ball joint is not made to fit. Or actually, it's not the ball joint, it's the, I guess, female end or whatever in the arm itself. It's not molded to fit, so yeah. Believe it or not, the guy from TFW, his arm was actually glued still. And there was glue residue on it, and he told me I didn't know it was glued. Like, alright. I'm still going back and forth about just looking at bad feedback for that, because that's fucked up. But, that's what I've got for the KO again. That's here on the left versus legit here on the right. Hopefully that helps you guys not end up with a KO. Like I said, just, it sucks, but there are so many KOs on the market. I would legit say it's 9 out of 10 being sold. Especially ones that you see on eBay. It's probably 9.5 out of 10 on eBay. But then even on the boards and stuff like that, so many people have ended up with KOs and don't even know it, to where now they're reselling them and stuff like that, and it just keeps going round and round and round. So hopefully these tips help. Definitely don't buy it loose unless it's somebody you know. Ask for up close pictures of the face and stuff like that. Use a pictorial review on kumastyle.com, because like I said, the mask and stuff like that, blatantly different. And if you have any questions, by all means, just email me, message me on the site, whatever. Just ask. I'll be more than glad to help, because KOs aren't expensive. They're like $20-$30, but that adds up, man. 2 or 3 of those is definitely enough to get a legit one. Anyways, happy shopping, and sucks that I have to make this video. See you next review.